Hello, Luke here. I would just like to take a moment to disclose upfront that we sometimes talk about sensitive topics in our podcasts, and in fairness to our audience, we will try our best to put specific warnings in the descriptions of each episode. Now on with the show.
Smoochy mania, he won't do ice shows. Kill the rhino, he replaced the rainbow. The one horn's got to go if we want to save our asses. Smoochy mania, snub parade of hope. Kill the rhino, since he replaced the rainbow. Percentage has gotten low, that one horn's got to go. Yeah, Listomania by Phoenix.
And welcome to the Nostalgia Killers podcast, where we revisit films from our youth to see if they still hold up or should be inserted into the great DVD player in the sky. I am Luc Londe, joined once again, almost as always, by Chuck Starzenski.
Hello, hello.
And almost as always, again, by Javier Martinez.
Oh, yeah.
And we are doing one more Founders Edition.
That's right. We finally closed the loop. The Holy Trinity has been created.
Yep, and we're doing Chuck's pick, which is Death to Smoochy.
Yeah. And we freeballing a trailer?
Yeah, I've been leaving them in. Cause,
okay.
Because the copyright thing is real. So, if we don't want to make 5 different versions of each episode,
okay,
one for YouTube, one for Spotify, one for it's a bitch.
Ugh.
So, I like the idea of just making up our own.
All right.
If you're down to do that, because.
What are you doing, Randy? You're throwing your career away for what? Fucking peanuts! Come on! It's like, you gotta, Robin Williams, you gotta give me a chance. And then it's like, no, give me the Rhino. Well, golly, I am hayseed. I sure am.
Just fell off the tractor.
Trail off the tractor. Look at me, I'm Edward Norton. I got this very sweet, syrupy character named Smoochy. Can I put it on TV? It's like, yeah, why not? This spring, because this movie didn't do well, I'm assuming. Or maybe this February. This dead time slot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rainbow Randall is the king.
Only in theaters.
Only in theaters for 1 week before we pull it. Oof. Death to Smoochy.
Yeah, I saw something with Danny DeVito in an interview, just a random interview. He kind of complained that the studios did not promote the movie.
No.
Which is kind of what kind of killed it.
Yeah, this movie was very dead in the water, which, we'll get to when we get to all the fun fact trivia stuff. But it seemed like one of those movies that was just it was destined to fail.
Which I would fault the time period. Because
it's
not too long after 9/11.
Yep, I was going to say that's my hottest take.
And sorry.
No, it's okay.
Jumping ahead.
It's all right. I'll repeat myself. It's all good.
And it was a New York movie, and I think they were mad that it wasn't about the towers or
just uplifting and it was just really.
It wasn't the Nick Cage movie where he actually is the firefighter who goes in.
It's just piss poor timing. It's just that thing where it's it came out. 2022 or 2002 was just such a rough time for cinema. This is when we're getting the sappiest Will Smith movies you can possibly come up with and all that. It's no, this is if it's not dipped in sugar, we don't want it.
The national mood had changed for sure.
Exactly. I'm actually curious what the top movie of 2002 is because of that.
Ooh, 2002.
Look that up really quick.
It was probably some Harry Potter sequel.
It's got to be something.
Yeah, it's definitely Harry Potter or Shrek 2. Yeah, it's either Harry Potter or Shrek, something like that. 2002. Yeah, I'm willing to bet. Or Fellowship of the Ring?
Spider-Man.
Oh, what? 2002?
Yeah.
The first one?
According to this random website.
Weird.
Yeah, Spider-Man, and then Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones.
Which is funny because Spider-Man, it's New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
a superhero movie.
Yeah. There's even they have that scene too where we New York can stand up with each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. Yeah.
I blame Nickelback for the success. And they say that a hero can save us.
I was fooled by Nickelback. I'll admit.
I was too, briefly. I
never listened to the radio, so like anytime I saw any music video or anything on TV, it was Nickelback or Creed or something like that. Some band I had no like affiliation or interest with, but they had every song on the chart.
Yeah.
In those days, it's like
I listened to I was a devout like bad rock radio stan at the time. So like I was just like, hell yeah, dude. I think I bought Silver Side Up. Like I think I bought like I'm pretty sure actually I went to Walmart and I bought a fucking I can't even think of the name of this. The big hit. The like I don't know. We can start this podcast. We don't have this is not a Nickelback podcast.
I don't know.
It could be.
It could be.
We can crank out 100 episodes on Nickelback.
That's right.
Yeah.
We do focus on pain sometimes.
We do.
So.
But anyways, this is my Founders episode. And so, yeah, I'll kick things off. I remember my mom renting it when it first came out, which, by the way, my mom fucking loves this movie.
Nice.
If you can't, listeners to the podcast, if you don't see a through line, it's like if it's just like a really dark comedy or a little on the fucked up scale, it's like, oh, yeah, like... When you ask, I just bring any of these up to my mom. Like, I'm like, oh, hey, do you remember Serial, Mom? Do you remember Death to Smoochy? Oh, great fucking picture. Yeah, my mom loves this movie. She had a field day with it. I must have been 12 or 13 when it came out. I thought it was funny, but most of the cynicism just like went over my head. I was more like, oh, like the physical comedy and whatnot. And obviously, being 12, I was a huge Robin Williams fan. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to see this. Like, he's in it. But it wasn't until I was in my late teens and early 20s that I rediscovered it. And yeah, it became such a big film for me personally. I mean, it just checks all of my boxes. It's witty and crass at the same time. It's deeply cynical, yet sweet. It's been a huge influence on me creatively. It definitely feeds into my obsession with finding the seedy underbelly of something that appears to be saccharine sweet on the surface.
Sure.
Which is, yeah. Look at my filmography. It's kind of it. It's that's all I got. Well, one trick pony. Nay. But how about you guys?
Yeah, no, it's funny. So, I had a similar experience too. My dad rented it. Right, I'm a little bit younger, so it was weird for me to watch this movie because I would have been 9 or 10 at the time. But for some reason, my dad was like, "Yeah, we're gonna watch this movie."
It's a kid show.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I think he knew that I wasn't, but my dad was kind of pretty lax with like what I watched, honestly.
Sure.
So I remember, I watched it and I remember enjoying it. I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." Having this perspective of like the Robin Williams that I knew versus like I think this is the first one that I saw that like had or any sort of like comedian in like that kind of a role. So it's like, whoa, this is like an adult movie.
Yeah, broke him out of the box.
Whoa, yeah. So I remember really enjoying it, and I have never seen it since.
Oh,
so this was kind of like the perfect episode for me.
Hell yeah.
Like I saw it that one time, I loved it, and got to rewatch it now. So
fuck yeah.
Nice. I watched it a couple years after it came out, I guess, like around DVD Netflix time. And I didn't know what it was. It was recommended to me. I didn't even look at who was in it. And I was just, as I watched it, consistently surprised from one scene to the next. Because starting out, you think, great, this could be really lame, because it'd be a really lame kid show. But then it goes dark.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm fucking in. And then it goes silly, and then it goes dark, and then it's like, yes, this is me. This is...
No, on this rewatch, I was like taking in the cast. I was just like, oh my God. Like, it's just a who's who of just like incredible character actors.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I've watched it a million times since.
For nostalgic favorite scenes, I've got 3 that I'll just say really fast.
For it.
Yeah, favorite scene in the film, hands down, is... Well, my stepdad's not mean, he's just adjusting. Is like such a perfect, oh God, like it's exactly like who Sheldon is. Like with his, he like mentions earlier in the film, he's like, no. He's like, this show can go on for decades. Like I've got literally like 300 original compositions.
Right.
Oh, he's so good.
Yep.
And then, it's kind of a cop out, but I guess like my second favorite scene would just be any Rainbow Randall freak out. Specifically when he first gets like brought into Angelo's apartment to stay with him, and then he just like lashes out and tackles him, and it's just like, shaking and spitting on him and just like freaking out, and then just instantly like drop of a hat in true Robin Williams fashion, just crumbles. And then the cookie song.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah.
It's a rocket ship. It's a rocket ship.
Yeah.
And I was watching it this time, trying to figure out how much of that dialogue actually went out in front of the kids. Because normally they take the kids out and like shoot Robin Williams going, "It's a dong."
Yeah.
You know, something like that. But they're fucking in the. They're in the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it looks like, yeah, they were there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Mr. DeVito. Yeah, I don't. I see Danny like smoking a cigarette off to the side and like, nah, they gotta learn sometime. But like, nah, Robin, just go for it.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
How about you, Javi?
That's funny. So yeah, I had that as my favorite scene was
song.
the whole. What do you say? Is that, what are you blind? It's a cock.
Yeah.
It's a penis. 2 balls and a yeah. And he just goes on and like says all the different little euphemisms for it or whatever.
It's Mr. Like fuck. I wish I wrote it down, but I don't have my full notes with me. But it's Mr. Jolly Fun Time. Like just like he's got all these. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I also had the exchange that they have in the car en route to the Nazi gathering. Yeah. They're having that little exchange where they're talking about the chi, and he's like, "Well, I've never eaten Korean food." And he's like, "Yeah, he's probably gay too, like miserable cocksucker."
I loved it.
Yeah.
I love that it's like the whole movie, Smoochy is so earnest and sweet that even in that moment, he's like, no, I've always looked up to Randall, and that's like pissing him off more.
Yeah, right.
It's like, no, call him a pillow biter. Do something.
Yeah.
Like, hurt me now. And it's
Right.
like, no, I've never thought that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Hurting him by being the bigger person,
Exactly.
And then the last one that I had too was, I've always been trying to figure out why Katherine Keener is hot. Because he's like a lot older than he's always been older than I have. It's not like, okay, like at one point we could have crossed paths. It's always been older. But for some reason I've always had this like, she's just like an attractive woman and I don't know why. And I think with this movie I finally figured it out. It's just anytime she's angry. I just seeing Katherine Keener just being a bitch. That does it for me. I think that's what it is.
She's got this like, this air about her too. Like this kind of very silky air.
Yeah.
That even when she's angry and demanding the scene and whatnot, she's also just got this kind of like almost weirdly you can't put your finger on it, like come hither stare to her. Yeah, just her aura. I think that's what's sexy.
Yeah. So any like little any of her quips or snappy comebacks like that she's just great at that. And I realized like, oh, that's what it is. Because
do you guys remember Into Oblivion?
Yes. We're just gonna keep jumping ahead this whole podcast, but yes.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay, dude.
Oh, wait.
That's his. But no, go off.
No, I don't think I have. No.
Oh, it's a great Steve Buscemi film about the perils of making a movie, like the onset.
It's so fucking good.
I won't spoil it for you if you haven't seen it.
I'll check it out.
You should definitely check it out. Katherine Keener's amazing in it.
Okay.
It was like a staple of. It was always on Tubi. I mean, now that we've recommended it, you probably have to pay for it. But like, it's one of those movies that like just keep an eye out. They always put it on Tubi.
Yeah. It's funny. This is on Tubi for but it's only like we got it at the right time. It's only available for like 4 more days or something.
Exactly.
Like that.
I got excited by that. I was like, hell yeah. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
I mean that's pretty much it for me. Other than like anytime Spinner's on screen.
Oh, he's so good.
And I'll get into it later about why I like that actor so much.
Yeah.
But any nitpicks?
Yeah, I do. Like as much as this is one of my favorite movies of all time, but I can also like see faults in things that I love.
How dare you?
Personal nitpicks are the most uncomfortable scene is Sheldon trying to make a move on Nora when she comes over wasted. Like she comes over wasted to like apologize.
There is that. And I noticed this time watching through, it's like every time at the beginning he's kind of trying to get a foot in the door somehow.
Yeah,
like,
but that one is just like he's really like, no, stay a while, and like and he's this very stand-up sweet guy throughout the movie, but it's like the one time where she literally states like, I am on the verge of blacking out. That's the only way that you're going to get an apology out of me.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, have a seat. Like, that's a little icky. I got a couple more, but if anyone wants to hop in.
Well, this might be the perfect time for me to mention that I did not enjoy this movie.
Oh.
Well, no, actually, that's not the right word.
Good.
But and I hate
just uncock the gun.
No, I
hate that it's another Founders Edition too, and I'm just like, fuck, like why'd you both pick something? And I'm like,
No, I am excited because like this movie people unanimously hate this movie.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons I like it so much. Is that it's kind of mine.
Oh, it's like fucking
myself.
people hate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why. But in my mind, I'm like, wow, how could anyone hate this movie?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I wouldn't say I hate it. It was, man, I didn't.
Yeah.
It was fine. Like I didn't have as great of a time as I think I could have. But it was always so we can get more into that later.
Go
but
off, man.
I mean, yeah, like for example, like, my nitpicks were I feel like the editing in this movie is kind of weird. Like there's like a lot of really abrupt cuts, or like things are starting to ramp up and then it just gets cut to the next scene. Like I kind of feel like this movie, I feel like it's kind of edging me the whole time. Like we're gonna get there, like it's ramping up, we're getting this, Rainbow Randolph doing his thing, but it doesn't go where I want it to go. Like I want it to go farther, louder, even more vulgar, and then it just kind of doesn't. Like he's ramping up, fuck you, Smoochy, and then cut to something else. I'm like, oh, I wanted more of that, and it does that several times.
Yeah,
So I
they
don't know if
literally, figuratively, and literally. He hits a wall.
Yeah.
There's several times where Robin Williams is about to enact some extremely evil plan, and he literally pratfalls on a brick wall.
Yeah. And so the movie ends up feeling just really like segmented for me. Like it isn't kind of choppy. Yeah. So just along those lines, yeah. Like my other nitpick was that it doesn't go as dark as I would have liked it to have gone.
Interesting.
So it kind of ends up feeling goofy for me, and I don't know. I feel like you can have like that goofy satire and also have it go like really, really dark and fucked up. And I just don't think that it did that for me.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I think,
could you give me an example? Like, and this is, no, I totally get it. But could you give me one example of like something that you wish would have went further, I guess?
Like I know I mentioned it a little bit, but like Robin Williams, I feel that he could have done more. Like it almost seems like he's.
Can I offer something?
Yeah, go for it.
So at the same time, I'm curious. Have you seen Insomnia?
I have.
Have you seen 1 Hour Photo?
No.
So right in between, like this movie came out right in between those movies, and those are really dark Robin Williams movies. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses for it. It's a totally legitimate take.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I feel like he's doing this. Robin Williams is doing this thing the whole time where he's not yelling like he's yelling in like lowercase.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say what I want because I don't want to blow it out on the microphone. But kind of more what you do, Chuck. That's kind of how I wish he would have gone. Like, I want him to be louder,
bigger,
and like throw more shit around and like I don't know. I just I don't know. I just felt it wasn't. And anyways, there's an alternative casting thing that kind of we can talk about.
No, it's all good. Yeah, my only other like major nitpick is God rest his soul. Robin Williams. He's a very talented guy, but he's got like 6 characters in him that he just kind of keeps going back to. And the most uncomfortable one, for lack of a better term, is Robin Williams' black voice. He does this character a couple times in the movie where he does kind of like a Jim Crow impression that's a pretty fucking cringy. But otherwise, not gonna put too much dirt on the man's name. Other than that, but yeah, it's just one of those. It's a slightly different time, but it also still wasn't that cool when this movie came out.
Yeah.
Sure. Which, I mean, I guess you could, if you wanted to make a defense for that. Rainbow Randolph's supposed to be scummy.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yeah. But it's also just like, I feel like that's just a not Jim Carrey, Robin Williams, like staple kind of thing of like, that's just one of his 6 things that he does a lot. Like, cause he does the Scottish thing a lot. He does like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any nitpicks.
No?
So, I mean, there are a few. There's some language problems, but I don't really have anything to knock on. So, but I totally understand. Not being over the moon for the movie. Most people weren't.
Yeah. This is, not to jump ahead into fun facts, but this is one of Roger Ebert's least favorite films of all time.
Oh, wow. All time.
Mr. Ebert, loathed this movie with a passion.
Yeah, again, I don't hate it. I just don't love it.
Yeah.
I think it teased me and then it didn't pay off.
Right on to Rainy Day Pairings, unless you got more.
No,
more
hate.
It.
No, I love this movie, unabashedly. But also, I understand it's not for everybody by any means.
Yeah, I know. This is. I would not show this to everybody.
No.
A select group of people I would.
Yeah, like I'm not pulling my mother-in-law over and being like, oh, you're gonna love this one. And no.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a Rainy Day Pairing, as I said, you mentioned it earlier. Mine is Living in Oblivion.
Right on.
Yeah. Much like this movie, it's also like a glimpse into what happens behind the scenes on a set, and features Katherine Keener, and she's fucking commands in that movie. She's amazing. Yeah, she's easily the best part of that film too.
Yeah.
You've never seen it?
No, I haven't.
Even through all our film school?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Right.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'll go watch it, and maybe
Yeah.
maybe I've seen clips or something, but I honestly can't recall
Most
anything.
likely, yeah. It's like it's the joke because they're trying to film and everything goes wrong on the set. It's like there's always there's a boom in the shot or stuff like that, and it's just builds and builds and builds.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Okay,
it's a lot of like.
If you're very seriously, you should watch this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot of like dead silence, perfect shooting, and then the second that they start burning, like because they're shooting on film, the second they start burning film, it's like, oh, there's a fucking like garbage truck in a car accident right out front, like basically, and just stuff like that, where you're like, fuck.
I'm gonna go watch it today after this.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to add that on there.
How about you boys?
For my rainy day pairing, I had Brigsby Bear.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've only seen that once and really, really liked it.
Yeah, it was super fun. I really enjoyed it. And it's kind of, same thing, dealing with children's shows and trying to recreate, trying to recreate the magic. And, it's not dark or anything like that per se. But, that's the first one that came to my mind. I was like, oh, yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's with one of the SNL or current-ish SNL cast members, Kyle Mooney.
Kyle Mooney, yeah.
Yeah, and he basically, West Point, I think he, grows up in what would you call it, like an underground
it's kind of like a blast from the past riff. Like he grows up like in a bomb shelter sort of scenario, or like an Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
Basically, like he's very sheltered and he's been educated literally by watching these tapes of essentially like a Barney.
Sure.
Brigsby Bear.
Brigsby Bear, yeah. That's like his whole like grasp on education and whatnot. And
they do that in the Venture Brothers too.
Yeah.
Right on. I got I have a sandwich.
Yeah.
So I've got Rounders and Being John Malkovich.
Oh.
Have you watched Rounders yet?
I haven't. We talked about it because the gambling, right? We talked about it
for poker. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the guy who plays Spinner plays a very serious thug with Edward Norton in Rounders.
Oh,
and you wouldn't recognize him unless I told you right now that that's the same guy.
Funny.
That's why I started watching Rounders before I started watching Smoochy too. I was like, I just love that movie a lot. And then Being John Malkovich. You've seen that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
If you like Katherine Keener,
right?
That's where I first saw her, and just
nice.
Oh my god!
For those not watching and listening, there's a lot of eyebrows being raised.
We put my eyebrows back on my head.
Exactly. Same with Living. There's a little in Living in Oblivion as well.
Well, for Katherine?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know she's Anything that she's in where it focuses on her, and she just steals the camera. It's her acting too. It's just solid. I mean, there's no she grabs my attention not just because she's beautiful, but she's serious.
Yeah,
and she's dangerous.
Yeah.
She's one of the better parts in 40-Year-Old Virgin too. Like she just is she's like one of the grounded characters. And you're like, oh shit.
She's in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, she's the hot grandma.
She's the love interest.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, fuck her while you cash a check that she gave you for $1.28.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I think the last thing I saw her in before that was the adaptation.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's anyways, that's my
hell yeah
sandwich. This movie's fantastic cocktail.
Yeah, I was kicking myself for how good this one tasted.
Good.
So today, for our cocktail, we have the Rainbow Rhino. It's 2 ounces of an unsponsored, unnamed, multicolored fruit candy that's been infused into vodka. Let's just say it tastes kind of like rainbows. So 2 ounces of candy vodka, 1 ounce of orange juice, and to bring it back down to earth, we've got 3/4 ounce of lime. Shake hard enough for some ice on the pond. Just make sure the Hope Foundation gets their cut if you decide to skate.
Nice, man. It's it's amazing.
Yeah. No, this is not to bash any of our sorority fans out there, but this is like a Phi Kappa Delta drink if there ever was. This is like, me and my girlies are gonna have a crazy weekend. We bought a handle of Tito's and we put a bunch of gummy worms in it. Like this. Tipsy bartender, please sponsor us. Oh.
I think that it fits the honor of the cocktail itself, because the cocktail was invented to make moonshine taste, palatable.
Oh, yeah.
And this is just... I don't think I can have too many of these.
Oh, no. This is like...
But this is like if you had a black hole and you squashed a bag of this unnamed candy into a glass.
Oh, there are so many times like where as a bartender, I will literally be like making something and I will basically almost come up with this and I'll be like, this is phenomenal. What is it? And I was like, this tastes like Skittles. Yeah. That's why I like this. Or like, this tastes like a white gummy bear. That's why this is amazing.
Right.
It's because it's tricking my brain into thinking that I'm drinking something from my childhood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Thank you, Chuck.
You're welcome.
Let's go ahead and take our first ad break.
Woo.
And we're back with Act 2, The Evidence Board. So this movie came out in 2002. Was it March? Did I get the month wrong?
Something like, it came out, again, it got like shelved basically. Like they tried to freeze it. Like it got put out in like March or February, like
That's
just
right.
very low attendance.
Cost $50 million to make. Only made 8.3.
Yeah.
And according to Danny DeVito, it's down to the studio not marketing the film or understanding how to market it, which I totally understand. And I think it could have done better if it was shown to the right audience.
Yeah.
I think it was confusing for people. Like, do I bring my kids to this? Is this going to be, toys? Is this going to be a funny Robin Williams movie?
Yeah.
And it's actually barely a Robin Williams movie. It's more of an Ed Norton movie.
I feel like this genre, like this kind of like very niche, that's the problem. It's just very niche. Like I feel like this genre is destined to fail.
Sure.
Like the only way for something like this to truly succeed is if you put a ton of violence in it and then market it as a horror movie, because horror will never die.
Right.
Like if Smoochy was like killing people, then it's like, oh my God, this is a cult classic. This is amazing. Like it would, do numbers. But it's like just, anytime you try and mix like children's entertainment with adult vibes, like it's always going to get piss poor performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it, but not the love child. That's the wrong word. The baby of Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Oh.
Danny DeVito directed, produced.
No, this was a total like passion project, basically.
Passion project.
For him.
There you go.
Yeah, written by Adam Resnick, directed by Danny DeVito. This film bombed so hard that it was one of the key reasons Film 4, which is a British production company, went out of business. Yeah. Was key.
Oof.
That's a bummer.
It's one of the last films to feature the Twin Towers.
Yep.
And speaking of the Twin Towers, the TV edit of this movie is an entire half hour shorter.
Yeah.
So they cut out a lot of shit. They cut out like basically any kind of hint of sex or like violence or this or that. It's like heavily, there's swearing throughout the movie that they take out. And then weirdly enough, for television, they cut out the scene where you can see the towers in the back because it was quote unquote too soon. As I said before, one of Roger Ebert's least favorite films of all time. But that being said, Danny DeVito still stands by the movie and calls it one of his personal favorite movies he's ever worked on.
Yeah. I don't know how much you guys put weight into Roger Ebert's.
I really don't.
What he cares about. I mean, he's been like hit and miss. I don't pay much attention to him or Siskel
No.
Over the years, because they come back and change their mind 10 years later.
Yeah,
it's kind of
what being a reviewer is. It's like anything like that, like movies, music, like Pitchfork like classically gets everything wrong. Like they're like always like, oh, this is the album of the year, and it's like, that really this is dog shit. Like that's kind of just their like yeah.
Well, I think it's just again, there's just so many factors going into watching a movie that kind of alter the outcome of what you think. Your state of mind. What's going on, whatever socially, whether it's national tragedies, whatever. So I think, and kind of like on this show, right? We can rewatch stuff years later and be like, oh, what the fuck were we thinking?
Yeah,
or be like,
oh,
or why did I not like this? This is amazing. So,
but like if you're like the person who the nation looks up to as a reviewer, I'd say you got a little more responsibility to give some things some leeway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what's really cool is I don't know how much you guys watch like YouTube personalities who do like film reviews and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I know one thing that they're really good about is using that disclaimer of like, hey, this is just my opinion. Like, I'm not gonna fight you guys on it. You know, kind of like we do here. Like, hey, if you don't like it, like that's totally fine. I'm just telling you why I love this movie or why I didn't. You know,
Yeah.
And I feel like the younger kind of YouTube people, they do a good job of
like not to throw it back to music, but like Anthony Fantano's really good at that. He's like, this is, he always ends every like review with just like personal opinion, you guys tell me what you think, like da-da-da-da, like, that's his sign off basically. Like,
right.
I got some really fun alt casting.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Also, I don't have to hog the spotlight if anyone wants to jump in, but I'm sure this is what you were alluding to earlier, Javi, and why you might have liked the movie more if this choice was made. Jim Carrey was the original choice for Randall.
Right.
But he passed to star in the film The Majestic.
Right, which
I recommended, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Which is, I think history did a good thing.
Sure.
Like, it went right.
Right, versus, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The right people were in the right movies.
Hank Azaria was originally cast to play Stokes, but dropped out. And so the part went to Jon Stewart. And Jon Stewart has famously said in an airing of the Academy Awards that he was hosting, he's like, yeah, it's an honor to host as the fourth male lead in Death to Smoochy, which no one saw.
It's like this and Half-Baked.
Yeah, because he has like no credits. Yeah, he has no acting credits like whatsoever aside from The Daily Show.
Yeah.
And then this is one of my favorites. Henry Rollins was heavily considered for Spinner, even though he purposely tried to self-sabotage his audition. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys actually watched the clip that I sent.
I didn't get to watch it, no,
but it's so good. Basically, Henry Rollins, famous musician, poet, personality, leader of Black Flag, all that kind of fun stuff. He originally, never wanted to be an actor, but people keep casting him and stuff. And he's like, oh my God, this script is amazing. He loved it. And he's like, I get to work with Danny DeVito. He just got like a severe case of imposter syndrome and was like, there's no fucking way I can do this. Like, I am not an actor. This is not for me. He's like, but what can I do? I can try my hardest to freak Danny DeVito the fuck out. And
he will never forget me.
Exactly. He's like, that was his goal, was just to make an impression. And yeah, boy, he did. He threw a chair like during the audition and almost hit Danny DeVito, destroyed a table and a television, and scared the living shit out of Danny DeVito's like assistant, who was his scene partner.
And the scene was when Spinner first sees Smoochy in the restaurant. And he goes over and hugs him. That very simple little scene.
Yeah.
He dragged it out for 3 minutes.
Yeah, he's like, my audition was supposed to be 30 seconds. He's like, we made it 3 minutes, baby. Like, yeah.
And I love Henry Rollins.
I do too.
But he doesn't belong in movies.
No, I mean, he's himself,
Yeah, I forget which. I mean, Johnny Mnemonic was like a big, like, should have been a signal. But he's also in another film where he doesn't even have a line and he's distracting. Because it looks like he's like, in his mind, he's going, don't look at the camera, don't look at the camera. Like,
interesting.
But like everything else he's done, fucking love it.
Yeah. He also just like, he's the king of like resting bitch face too. So it's just like, even when he's like, it doesn't matter what part he's playing, it's just like, oh, Henry looks really mad.
So I'm a liar, and I'll make you like me. I love that. I noticed that doing the research. It's like,
I also love though that he as I said, like flipped the fuck out in his audition, but Danny DeVito was like, oh, this is the guy.
They called him back.
Yeah,
that's the thing. He got the part.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was literally down to him and the actor who is currently playing Spinner. Yeah.
Funny. Yeah, I wonder what the
and just the other guy was just slightly more nuanced. Is why they went with him. They were like, oh yeah, I mean, like, because Henry's just got this like basically going on. Like,
I think Norton brought him in because they had been in Rounders together.
Yeah, a slight edge. Yeah. Makes sense.
I don't have anything else for the.
I don't either. No. There wasn't a lot.
No. I got some usual suspects. I got a lot. I'll run through.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I got one, a super minor one, so I can just get that one off. But one of the Rhinettes, like the little rhinos, it was Martin Kleba, who's in Pirates of the Caribbean. He's the
hell yeah.
Forgive me the proper word, but he's one of the pirates.
Yeah,
right on.
That was one I missed.
Yeah, I think I missed him too.
Yeah, he's got like a distinct face, and so I saw him.
Yeah,
I tried to verify. I'm like,
he's one of those actors where I'm like, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah, great.
Who do you got, Chuck?
I got a lot, so I can just go off for a second. Sure. I've got Robin Williams, obviously.
Yeah.
He was in Mork and Mindy as the titular Mork. with the titular Mindy, who is Pam Dauber from Stay Tuned.
That's right. I missed that one. Nice.
We've gushed about Katherine Keener so much already, but she's in Out of Sight with George Clooney.
Okay.
Who did Confessions.
Yeah.
And speaking of Confessions, she is also in Adaptation, which is written by Charlie Kaufman, who also did Eternal Sunshine. We got Ed Norton, who is in Grand Budapest Hotel with Willem Dafoe of Boondock Saints.
Oh, shit. You're right. Yeah.
And then my last one, this is, again, there's so many that I just kind of kept it simple on this one.
There's a lot.
And then my last one is Danny DeVito is in the awful film What's the Worst That Could Happen with Martin Lawrence of Blue Streak.
Oh, shit. I've never seen that one.
It's bad.
I forgot about it.
It's just like a bad, like, us versus them kind of racially charged comedy that's like a throwaway comedy from like the early 2000s.
Yeah. So I've got Edward Norton and Edward Furlong are both in American History X.
Oh, yeah.
Ed Furlong's in Detroit Rock City.
Right. Nice.
You got Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting with Casey Affleck, who has a bit part in American Pie. He has a very small, which is our first episode.
Yeah. I was also saying, there's a lot.
Yeah, I got a triple, but I'll get to that. Robin Williams was in AI with Ken Leung from Rush Hour.
Oh, shit.
Ken Leung he was a scientist in AI.
Yeah.
Very small part. Robin Williams and in Bicentennial Man with Sam Neill from Jurassic Park. Robin Williams in Flubber with Christopher McDonald. Happy Gilmore.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Shooter.
I'll get that one. So this is the big one. Buggy Ding Dong, Vincent Schiavelli.
Fucking love Buggy Ding Dong.
Yeah, he was in Buckaroo Banzai with Peter Weller from RoboCop. Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future, and Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park.
Hell yeah.
Like all in one movie.
Oh, yeah. Buggy, I thought you cleaned up. Yeah, I cleaned up half the poppies in Asia. This movie's so, fuck. That's why, I don't know. You're allowed to hate it, Javi, but it's just for me personally, I think the writing is on par with a John Waters movie. It's just so, the writing is so tight and snappy that, I honestly feel like it could probably have a little less ad-libbing from Robin Williams and stuff, because I imagine that there's stuff left on the script that is so good that he just didn't say.
And I've got one kind of sob story. About Danny DeVito, whom I love. Mara Wilson, the little girl from Matilda, Mrs. Doubtfire, who's in Robin Williams.
Right. There you go.
That's kind of how they're linked. But when they were filming Matilda, Mara's mother was dying from cancer.
Oh shit.
And Danny DeVito and Rio Perlman kind of adopted her while they were making the movie.
Oh, look at that.
So they housed her and were her parents basically.
A real life Matilda scenario.
Exactly. And that just goes to show you what a great person Danny DeVito and Rio Perlman are.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
He's on that list of people that I have never heard a negative thing about Danny.
Right.
He seems to be a saint among men, basically.
Everybody's favorite. Yeah. Yep. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm sure there's plenty more. Especially with Edward Norton being in all the Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah, exactly.
With 30 plus actors.
As soon as I saw Grand Budapest Hotel, I was like, it's going to be a long fucking night if I really want to do this. I was like, I'm going to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go. You good?
Oh, I was just going to say really quick non sequitur that we can cut out. One of my favorite, speaking of Danny DeVito, one of my favorite 80s Danny DeVito stories is Danny DeVito went to a party in Hollywood, and it's 80s cocaine everywhere.
Oh yeah.
At this specific party, everyone's last name was spelled out in cocaine. And so it's oh my God, that's crazy. DeVito right there in blow. Yeah. He turns the corner. He sees the most excited, wide-eyed Arnold Schwarzenegger he's ever seen in his life. He's like, Danny. He's like, look how long my name is. And it's just so it's a mile of cocaine basically because it's Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
And that's how they came up with twins.
I mean, that has to be how they came up with twins, yeah.
No, Junior.
And Junior, too, yeah.
Oh my God.
It's okay, no. Hear me out, Arnie, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
But how? I don't fucking know, it doesn't matter. You're pregnant, it's gonna be great.
I don't have a uterus.
Let's go take our second ad break.
Perfect.
And we're back with Act 3, the award categories. We'll go ahead and start with my new band name.
And I've learned my lessons, so I've got 3.
Well, I appreciate it.
Keeping it short and sweet.
I recognize this is one of your favorite bits, so I never want to cut you off. But I think if we do 3 during the show and then wait for the post show to like go into, but yeah, I do need you to pick your favorite 3.
All right. If anyone else wants to start,
go for it, Chuck.
Okay. I've got the Fabric Stuffers. They're a drag queen fronted punk band. Nice. And that's just like a slur that gets thrown at Sheldon the entire movie. It's like, you're going to put that guy on? You're going to give him a TV show? He's a fucking fabric stuffer.
Yeah.
We've got Bells, Whistles, and the Ricketa Racketa. They're like a doo-wop band. And that's just, one of Sheldon's things that he says 9 times in the movie. He's like, I'm an honest guy. I don't care about the bells, the whistles, and all the Ricketa Racketa. I don't know why I keep making him Southern. He's not that Southern in this film. I lied. I got 4. I got a quick one, though. One of my favorite lines in the movie, I've got Pigtail Wallet. They're like a dance, hyper pop, EDM kind of group. And it's one of my favorite lines. It's, you don't even see children anymore. Those are children out there. All you see are wallets with pigtails. Mm. And then my last one, just because it makes me laugh every fucking time. My last one is Never Saw Venice. They're a screamo band. It's what Buggy Ding Dong yells as he falls to his death for no reason. He's just it's his last regret, basically.
It's a cliche. It's what everyone used to say. It's a cliche from the 40s and 50s.
I was gonna ask about that if you guys know.
It's like when someone is getting ready to die. It's like, I never saw Venice.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought it was I thought it was just an amazing fucking non sequitur.
I think there's a great YouTube video that shows every movie that has that line in it. I'll try to find it and I'll add it to this if I can.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like 40 or 50 different movies.
Oh, wow, really?
It's like a Bugs Bunny cliche.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
That makes sense.
That's why, it just hit harder for me, I guess. Laughed. Yeah.
I did laugh out loud at that, but again, because I had no fuck, I was like, sure.
Yeah, that was like a common regret. When people were dying, it's like, I never saw Venice. I never got to Italy. I never traveled.
I put it on par with the Goonies when Chunk is getting threatened and they're going to put his hand in a blender and he's like, I want to learn how to play the violin. It's just the most random thing to yell. It's just this is my one regret in life. I can't die yet.
Yeah, so I have Little Junkies because, Little Junkies turn into big junkies come from Little Junkies.
Yeah,
gotta nip them in the bud.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's really just the writing. That's what this movie, if this was a book, it might even be better. I don't know. It's just the script is so tight.
I can see that actually.
Yeah. Came in on the H train, didn't you? Well, it's very sweet of you to assume that I'm a junkie, but no, I'm actually from KidNet.
And I always struggle with the genres. I have no idea. Yeah. Whatever. And then I got Bastard Son of Barney.
Yeah.
Which is the one of Rainbow Randolph's little Bastard Son of Barney. And then right in the beginning of the movie, after the Rainbow Randolph scandal, I got Corruption in Kringleland.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Which also, for some reason, I just laughed out loud when I heard that too. It's funny.
That's a Danny DeVito line if I ever...
Yeah, exactly.
Corruption in
If I ever saw one.
Yeah, that's it.
Right on.
Nice.
I got Firmer Handshakes.
Hell yeah. I love that bit.
I don't know what the genre is. That's just a funny band name.
I love, it's in that bit too. It's he's like, oh yeah, we were lovers. It's she was experimental yet traditionalist. He's like,
yeah, it's small, but it's angry.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, please, I've had firmer handshakes. Updated movie title.
Yeah. For mine, I have End of the Rainbow. Because it's the end of Rainbow Randall's career, and it's instead of a pot of gold, it's a purple, one-horned fuck.
I didn't come up with anything.
I got Squeaky Clean.
Nice.
Say that a few times about just
Yeah, squeaky fucking clean.
Yeah. So that Squeaky Clean would be funny.
Yeah, I think also in the tradition that we do on this show, I think it would also if it came out today, it would just be called Smoochy.
Right. Yeah.
Classic one word.
The Roger Deakins Would Be Proud Award.
This movie is well shot.
Yep.
I've got 2. I've got the forced perspective on Stokes in the corporate offices in the intro scenes when he's apologizing for what Rainbow Randall did.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He just looks like the smallest child. Like, it's like almost surreal how intense the forced perspective is. Like, they are so high up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my other big one is there's a, for lack of a better term, I guess it's like a dual dolly, a reverse vertigo, but lack of a better term, the Spike Lee shot. They do the Spike Lee shot on Randall after his suicide attempt.
Yeah.
Like when he's about to do like self-effigy and the little girl stops him and stuff. And then like he's like, oh, he has like a moment of clarity. And then Smoochy fucking steals his thunder. And it's like, it's that classic reverse dolly zoom thing pulling on him as he's like taking in the fact that like not even his suicide is important to the world.
I have the credits dance scene.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The entire credits are this spectacular show that they didn't have to do, but they did.
Yeah.
It's the credits. People are walking out of the theater.
I feel like that one costs so much money too.
Yeah. In front of the like 120,000 Christmas lights or whatever that they put on the set.
Yeah.
All the wire work, the fake ice skating, like that shit took days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Days and days to film. And it's just the end credits, like a throwaway scene.
Maybe it was originally shot as like an intro and then just didn't fucking work. And so they were like, well, we got to put it somewhere.
All the characters wouldn't know each other until after all the stuff happened. So
it's
it
true.
was, so it was meant to be at the end the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that's what I got.
It's also the first time watching it that I kind of like, my interpretation of that final scene is now that it's more of like a fantasy, like a dream sort of thing, because it's like
it, yeah.
It's Sheldon taking everything in because like they literally do like the kiss that does the like very cliche early 2000s like camera spin thing. And then that transitions into that. So it's kind of like, almost feels like it's Mopes' like, this is what a perfect world we're about to live in now that like me and Randall have like squashed our beef and whatnot.
Yeah. I can see that. You got anything?
Not really. I mean, I just put that I did enjoy the sets, like the ice show and the kid show set and everything, but nothing stood out to me particularly.
Right. Yeah. Is that Channing Tatum in a dog collar?
I got this whole movie, honestly. But I guess my two biggest ones, because I just love them with a passion. I've got Harvey Fierstein as Merv Green.
Yeah.
He's just so good. I fucking love him. He has one of the most iconic voices of all time.
Yeah. And I forgot to put this in The Usual Suspects, but they are in Mrs. Doubtfire together.
Yeah.
Was,
Right.
Uncle Jenk and Aunt Frank.
Yeah, exactly. I know that's one of those bits that even as a kid, like I fucking loved. I was like, hell yeah. Like, and then my other one is Danny Woodburn, who plays Angelo. He's the little person actor.
Oh yeah.
Really got really big in Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's just so good. He's one of those guys that like, it's that like, we weren't so mean to little people. That guy would have, I think, been a much bigger star.
Yeah, he's great.
I was watching a review on The Watchmen last night, and he's in that too, and he's amazing in it.
Oh, he's a phenomenal fucking actor.
Yeah. And like, if you watch the behind the scenes, he's doing that stuff constantly. He's doing impressions of people, and he's really good.
Yes. No, I love that he commands every scene he's in, but I fucking love the relationship with him and Robin Williams, where it's just Angelo, just like, heart of gold, but also just being like, if you could just stop being the biggest fuck up in the world for 2 seconds, like, I'm trying to help you here. Like, we can get you back on like the wagon. We can do all of these things. You just have to fucking calm down for 1 second.
That was picture in picture.
Exactly. Yeah.
I got Jon Stewart.
That's what I put.
Yeah.
That's what I put,
Very, random
Exactly.
career that didn't take off.
Yeah.
And he got on a talk show and was more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So,
He's so good in this too.
yeah, he does great.
He's so fucking good. Like Macanudos, eh? Like as he's about to get his fucking like head chopped off or something by the Irish mob. Oh.
I don't know if you saw the outtakes, but they got shot.
Yeah.
They deleted that scene when Sheldon and
Stokes or
what's her name?
oh
Nora.
They're running away at the end. So you boys ever travel together?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Which I think is much stronger to cut it. Because then it is like, you have no idea what they're going to... Yeah,
I pictured it
that,
being much worse than just
exactly.
gunshots,
Especially since like Merv Green literally got decapitated. So you're like, oh, these guys are going in like... They're traveling together in a fucking wood chipper. Like, it's like something going to be... It's going to be horrific, whatever's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a sailboat award.
Friends come in all sizes. Friends come in all sizes. Yeah.
Some like to pitch and some like to catch.
Jesus.
There's
The
so many
opening
lines in that
song.
song that I never caught until this viewing.
Some people say grasp, other people say snatch.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I put don't ever back out of the ice show.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story.
Mine is integrity is near impossible in the entertainment industry. Because, everyone's just going to try and cheat you and, make, there's a reason why, everyone sells out eventually.
Yeah.
That was mine.
Yeah. Friends come in all sizes. I mean, that's
Friends come in all
true.
sizes. They did.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Hans Gruber Deathfall Award. It's got to be Buggy, right?
Yeah, Buggy literally falls to his death. I give it to Spinner, though, because it's more of an emotional impact.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I had Stokes and Burke.
Okay.
We just touched upon that. Just that like they don't show it, and they have to picture what's going to happen. As Marcellus Wallace would say, they're going to go medieval on their ass.
Yeah.
So
Really are.
just picturing. Oh no.
What's the Irish people are talking about, like, all the things they're going to do to them. And they say, and Sheldon's like, why don't you go to the cops? Like, cops don't do it. And
I have that written down.
Cops won't do the ball thing.
Yeah, it's against procedure. Yeah, it's against,
Yeah.
it's against procedure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cops don't do the ball thing.
yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It's like, no, it's like we're going to, like, literally, like, make this man a eunuch for fun.
Yeah.
And let's just say the NYPD aren't big on that.
oh my god. Controversial hot take.
Yeah, kind of touched on it already, but mine is literally 9/11 is why this movie bombed.
Yeah.
Like, we as a country wanted anything but cynicism. And so had this came out in like 99, 98, I think it would have found more of its like video store audience. Like, I think it would have done bigger, not necessarily like in the box office, but I think it would have been like one of those like heavily rented along with like your quote unquote underground artists of the 90s, like John Waters and Tarantino and stuff like that. I think it would have been in that rotation a little more.
Yeah.
Because also, I think this came out too late. I think everyone had a little bit of like an edgy hangover from the 90s. Like, it was like, if this was like 94 and like came out around like Natural Born Killers and shit, people would have eaten this up probably a little bit more.
Right on. Mavi?
Don't have one.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Then I couldn't come up with anything. Time for another Spider-Man award.
I said yes.
Me too.
Yeah, different reasons, but I'm sure. But
Oh, go off.
But I mean, mine was just again, the reason I didn't like it was because it didn't go far enough. So I
Sure.
want a remake.
You want a remake?
Where they either, yeah. I mean, they can just go full blown like kind of comedy only, or just go like a darker kind of route to it, more serious, more fucked up.
Sure.
And yeah, get an actor who's gonna just go batshit insane.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Although I do gotta admit, I mean, Robin Williams is a little tough to follow.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think he did his best, but I couldn't tell you who I want. But
I would like to see a kind of a refresh or a remake, but just with a different lore, like not with any of these characters at all, but the similar idea, and maybe it could go darker. Maybe it could be made more for this time. But I would love to see another.
yeah, I like the concept
movie
of
like
it.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said we don't need a remake necessarily, but the world needs more dark comedies.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because like whenever there's like just when there's a really punchy dark comedy, it's like it's hard to beat, really. Like, it's one of those where you're like, it just like scratches a cynical itch that we just don't really get scratched very often. Like, it is like you gotta wait for like a John Waters or someone like that to come along and really just like not pull any punches.
Yeah. I would blame the studios.
Yeah.
I mean, studio movies hardly ever have any sharp edges. And that's on purpose.
Yeah,
just
I was
'cause
gonna say.
they want to bank it. So
Yeah.
Could even be one of those reasons why you dislike this movie, Javi. It could even be like a studio thing of like, well,
if A24 got a hold of something like this,
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, see,
It would
that's
be
what I was saying. I
fucking
want to
awesome.
see A24
Yeah.
Death
fucking
to
awesome.
Smoochy.
Yeah. Yep, I'd be into it. Even if it went more horror, I would I would gladly watch it.
Yeah. I think if it got made today, it'd be like Joaquin Phoenix instead of Robin Williams. It would go more that route.
Oh, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's great.
And you'd have like, unfortunately, it would have to be like probably Timothy Chalamet or something as Ed Norton. Like, it'd be someone who's like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, like well-known actor kind of person.
Sonic Death Monkey, top 5.
Yeah. This week's question, what are your top 5 all-time movies directed by actors? Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Sure.
Okay, go for it. Sure. Number 5, I have Zoolander.
Hell yeah.
Ben Stiller.
Did Ben Stiller direct it?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I fucking love that
Yeah.
movie.
Which, yeah. Oh,
Well, he directed a lot of the funny movies they made. Dodgeball,
yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah, right on.
Yeah. Number 4, I have another Ben Stiller one. I got Tropic Thunder,
Hell yeah.
which is fucking
Double Stiller feature, baby.
great. Yeah. I can. I've literally watched that movie 3 times in a row, like same night, with one of my friends, and we just laughed every fucking time. Like it did not die down. It was
Dude,
great.
let's do it when you get back from your honeymoon.
Yeah, we'll do it when you
I'd
get
love
back.
to do that one. Yeah. That would be a fun one for this, I think.
It's gonna be you have to tiptoe around a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, yep. Number 3, I have Apocalypto, Mel Gibson.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, which is
I liked it.
so fun.
Yeah.
I liked it because Mel wasn't in it.
I was going to
Oh,
say,
yeah, he wasn't in it. Yeah, but
I was like, hot take giving it to Mel, but
Yeah.
that is a good movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
but as a director, yeah, it was
Yeah, I like that one.
great. Yeah. Number 2, and it's only my number 2 because it just came out, so I couldn't have it as my number 1, I think. But I have Barbie. Yeah.
Greta Gerwig.
Greta
yeah.
Gerwig.
Oh yeah, totally. I was gonna put that down too.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah, dude. I feel like I had a talk with someone, like literally, again, it was like moments out of the theater, but not to derail too much. I'll try to tell as fast as possible. Basically, younger person that I work with, and he was like, I think this is going to be because he's like a Zoomer. He's like, I think this is going to be like one of the like cultural zeitgeists of like my generation.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just like, he's like, I think this is a movie that we're going to look back like on in 20 years and be like, why was Barbie this impactful and this good?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Barbie and Oppenheimer thing was like a Jurassic Park moment
Exactly.
in history once again.
Yeah.
And number 1, I have A Quiet Place, John Krasinski.
Right on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Just such a refreshing for the horror genre.
All right. Do you want to go, Luke?
Yeah, I'll go. I didn't really put these in order. I just wrote down like whatever came out of my mind. But I got Confessions of a Dangerous Mind because I have to.
You have to have it.
Because it was mine. That Thing You Do, Tom Hanks.
Oh shit! I didn't realize he directed that.
Yeah,
I don't know that one. I don't think I've seen them.
it's pretty good. I recommend it.
Okay.
It's zeitgeisty, even though it's a period movie. It's weird to say. It very much captures. It's set in the '60s, but it's very '90s movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I just liked it. I mean, it's one I grew up with and watched 1,000 times.
Sure.
I've got Sling Blade.
Peeled potatoes.
Yo, not talk like that. You did the boy.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
Good choice. Yeah.
Unforgiven.
Ooh.
I'm not the biggest Clint Eastwood fan as a person because of how, his politics and how I hear he directs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Unforgiven, he took a big fucking gamble because that was one of the first ones he directed and starred in himself, and nobody thought it was going to be any good. But I love that movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Solid.
Fucking Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman. It kind of started the Western genre up
Yeah.
again.
Everybody. Yeah.
Big time. And then Quiz Show,
Who directed Quiz Show?
Robert Redford.
Oh fuck! I had no idea.
Yeah. Ray Fiennes and Look Into Your Heart. What's his name? John Turturro. Very important movie, I think, because it sets up. Have you seen it? You haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. No, I know what it is.
I haven't seen it in years,
but I know what it is.
But I know what it. Yeah, it's the foggiest of like. It's like a random video store rental from like fucking early 2000s for me. Like,
For me, it's important because it goes into the entertainment industry and it's people's expectations of getting the truth out of it. So like the quiz show, I think it was in the 50s. It's set in the 50s. There's a quiz show where you win a lot of money. There's the IRS is involved, all that kind of stuff. But one of the contestants was being fed answers. So there was cheating involved. But they kind of, and it's not really spoiling it because it's in the trailer and all that. But at the end, they go to Congress and like the lawyers for it are like, nobody lost. People were entertained. People made money. And that's when they kind of like changed the standards for television, like truth in television.
Yeah.
It's like a landmark moment like people should know about.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah, that's me.
hell yeah, I'm put that on the rewatch list. For my top 5, for number 5, I have Ben Stiller for The Cable Guy.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
love
thought
The
about
Cable
that,
Guy.
but didn't make
Yeah.
the cut. Yes.
Oh my God.
Fucking love Waterworld. Such a good movie. I really want to do that on this show. It's one of those that, like, much like Smoochy, it's something that I did not understand on the first viewing, and then, like, as I got older, I was like, oh, this is like, okay, this is intense. I love this.
I had the soundtrack for like 5 years before I saw the movie.
Oh wow.
So I mean, the soundtrack is me. Like Alice in Chains, all that stuff that's in it. I listened to that nonstop in high school.
Nice.
And then I saw the movie years later. I'm like, fuck yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of people in it too. David Cross, Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. Jack Black.
Yeah, check me.
Number 4, I got Bo Burnham for 8th grade. Oh. That movie is like, that movie blew me away in the sense that I liked Bo Burnham, but I was never like a huge fanboy or anything like that. And like saw that other side of the coin for him and was like, holy shit, there's something to this man. And then like after 8th grade, like he did Inside, and I was like, okay, I'm sold. Mm-hmm. Nice. I've officially drank the Burnham Kool-Aid.
I watched a really great, there's like it's weird to say, but I'm on TikTok now. So, but there's a lot of like movie clips and stuff and shows you can just keep watching. It's like fucking phenomenal. But there's a Bo Burnham, like there's a round table with Bo Burnham, Gary Shandling, Ray Romano, like a bunch of comedians, and they're just talking about, you know, Bo versus being an older comic and stuff, and it's really good. I want to find it. I'll send it to you guys too.
Hell yeah. Also, non sequitur, but have you guys ever seen Promising Young Woman? One of my favorite movies of like 2020 or 2021. So fucking good, but he's phenomenal in that movie. He is like, it's like, oh, this motherfucker, like, because when you watch his stand-up, whether you're a fan of his or not, he's not a stand-up comedian. He is an actor who is playing a stand-up comedian. He's doing a one-person show. He's not doing a comedy special every time. It's like, oh, this is a one-man, like, Broadway play, basically. And that was just one of those, like, I don't want to be the man who says that a man is the best part of a feminist film, but he's second best. He's really good.
I'll put alarms up.
Right.
Exactly. But yeah, that's my number 4, 8th grade. My number 3 is mid-90s, Jonah Hill.
Oh,
okay.
Fuck.
I still haven't watched that.
It's so good.
Great. Oh.
Mid-90s is amazing for the sheer fact that we don't have to watch the movie Kids anymore. It's kids without Larry Clark. It's kids without assault and like gross shit. Right, but it still has it still has the grit of kids. It still has the stakes of kids, like all of that stuff. It's still like, fuck, these fucking children are just roaming LA like Jesus Christ, something terrible is going to happen to them. But spoiler alert, no one gets AIDS. It's like perfect.
Yeah. I have a Harmony Korine story for the post show.
Hell yeah. Fucking Harmony Korine. My number 2 is Nope by Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've struggled with like the Peele verse in the sense of like, which one do I like the best? I honestly think I like Nope more than everything else.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know though. I have to rewatch everything, but I think that's my favorite.
Wow.
Right on.
And then my number 1 is Greta Gerwig, and it's Lady Bird.
Oh, right on.
Nice.
I consider putting Frances Ha on. Yeah. It's one of my favorites.
I still have never seen Frances Ha. I need to see it.
It's good. It's weird to see Adam Driver in such an older movie.
Yeah.
But it's Greta Gerwig is just amazing.
Yeah, I think Lady Bird is it's a perfect movie. Like it's one of those movies that I don't know if there's a flaw. Just like whether it's your favorite movie or a cup of tea, doesn't matter. It's like just as its actual conception and whatnot, it's like fucking moves. Every shot is beautiful. Like, it's just perfect.
And what's her mother's name in that? I forget.
Oh, she's so fucking good. She's Laurie Metcalf.
Yes, she is my like all-time favorite actor. Yeah, really intense.
Yeah,
I'll watch anything she does.
Yes.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
cool. The verdict for Smoochy the Rhino.
Yeah. Do you want to do verdict or who won the movie first?
I'm gonna go take a shit.
Is that who won the movie? Spinner.
Oh no, did I miss that?
Oh no, that's why I was like, do you want to do the verdict or do you want to do who won the movie first?
No, I skipped ahead. I'm sorry. Let's do who won the movie.
Personally, Robin Williams. This is my personal favorite performance of his, honestly. I wish he did more dark comedy. Like, this is much more akin to his stand-up. I actually really enjoy Robin Williams' stand-up.
Yeah.
And this is just kind of that, I guess it's also that thing of like, as a kid growing up with Aladdin and Jack and Jumanji and yada, 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 like all great movies in their own right, but it's like, well, except for Jack, that's bad. But it's that thing where it's like seeing the other side of someone's coin is always so interesting to me, where it's like, whoa, this guy's got oh, he's a gnarly motherfucker. Like, okay, here we are.
And if you haven't seen Awakenings or Good Morning Vietnam,
Yeah.
or like these older dramatic things that Robin Williams has done, he's phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
Amazing.
He can pull out the sad clown shtick like anytime he wants. I put Ed Norton.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Because once again, he's able to carry this character that has like this. I thought about it, how to describe him, and it's like he's like a creme brulee.
Mm-hmm.
He's like got this, candy coated outer shell, but once you break through that, he's a hot mess.
Yeah.
Because like
That's a beautiful euphemism. I love that.
He's got anger. Nice. He's got serious anger issues. He tells what's her name? Is it Nora?
Nora, yeah.
Yeah, it says Nora. Like, I took an anger management class, or I had to. Like, you don't voluntarily take an anger management class.
No,
you get sent to it.
Yeah.
And like, there's so many times during the film where it bubbles up.
And then he has his little act of mindfulness where he like has to take a breath and he counts it like
Yeah. So he's playing this completely like the candy coated shell is just completely. It's not fake. Mm-hmm. He's doing as hard as he can, but he's got the fucking rage.
Yeah.
And like, you go back to Fight Club where he plays two people. He goes. What was the first one he did with
Fatal Instinct, or is
it
Primal Fear?
Primal
Fear, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like he plays that character all the way through, and at the very end,
it's
like, oops.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yep,
just
nice.
Edward Norton has that in him to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he chooses to do that too. I think he chooses films based on that.
Sure.
Other than the Hulk.
Yeah.
That's that fear escape. That's that rage escaping.
Exactly.
Let's get the rage on top of the upside down creme brulee.
Yeah, and that's why I had to.
You got Eddie Norton
and for pretty much the same reasons too. Yeah.
I hear he's a nightmare to work with.
Oh yeah, he sucks.
I would never want to make a movie with him, but
yeah, right. Well, his character in Birdman is supposed to be kind of. I read that
not just him.
That they explained how this is kind of like a not a parody, but
like a little self-awareness kind of thing.
Yeah. And he was like all for it too.
Hell yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I am kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it.
Yeah.
I loved Motherless Brooklyn. Which
so good.
He directed.
And which one?
Motherless Brooklyn.
Oh fuck, that could have been on the list.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even think. Yeah, he did direct that.
He's good in it. He directed it. He wrote it.
Nice.
He's been trying to get that made since like Smoochy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I can't imagine working with that guy. I love you, Norton, but
yeah.
Keep your distance. No touching. On to the verdict for the second time.
Yeah. I guess I'll just gush before Javi fucking takes my...
Let's just get through it and like not include...
Yeah. I'll gush before he takes Spinner out back. But yeah, dude, I fucking...
What round is it?
Oh, I'm just being fun of the crowd. Oh, he's so good.
I don't like Spinner, by the way.
That's okay. It's pretty ableist, but it's still really funny.
Yeah.
It's one of those where I'm like, I'm going to put the blinders on for this one because I like it. But yeah, I'm going to let it live. It is, honestly, it's in my top 5 favorite movies of all time, honestly. It's just like something about it. It just, like I said, it checks boxes for me. Like it's just, it could go darker, but I think that's kind of some of the joy of it is that it doesn't. Like it is still kind of like grounded in the world of children's entertainment and whatnot. So you still do get like little saccharine pops. It's not overly coy. I think the writing is super tight. And I think, any like really big issues I have with it, like as far as lulls or whatnot, are more like, kind of like how you touched on earlier. Like there's some weird editing choices that do happen in the movie. And I think it's great. And I think Danny DeVito should direct more things.
What Chuck said.
The Rhino's gotta go. I'm sorry,
it's all good. You killing it?
I don't think I'm ever watching this movie ever again.
Okay. Oh shit!
Is the thing like again? Not because again, I don't hate it. I just am never gonna be in a space where I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me watch that again.
Yeah.
If I walked in here and it was playing, I guess I'm watching it. But I just.
But you would think about something else to do.
Yeah. Be like when someone tries to show you their favorite song and you're just like, you walk out to use the restroom or something. Like, wait, no, like this is.
Let me tell you about my dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think.
That's fine.
Yeah. I think with the rest of society on this one.
I was like, you're the majority, man. It's all good.
I don't necessarily care for it.
Right on. I love that we're all like got different opinions on it, man.
Yeah.
It's like, what kind of shill show would we be if we all just like fawned over everything?
Yeah, that's also
it's
like
been a while since I killed something. So
that's also like I don't want to sound like a total cynic, but also like I would like to start doing just pepper in a couple more challenging films, because I feel like we have been on a gush fest for a while on this show.
Well, it's just our Founders Edition. These are our favorite films.
Oh,
so
I know.
Very, very much going to be that way, yeah.
I meant though, like I feel like we've been doing like they're all great
Just in
movies
general,
and
yeah,
they're
they
fun
were-
episodes, but we have been doing a lot of softball pitches, a lot of like, well, fuck yeah, like how are you going to kill Pirates of the Caribbean? How are you going to kill, yada yada.
Yeah.
I would like to start kind of doing a little scratch in where I'm like, I really don't think, you know what, now that I've really thought about it, like in the themes and stuff, I don't know how I feel about The Professional anymore. Like, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
but also
well-
I don't want to be a hater. It's like, it's also fun to talk about things you love.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
We'll pepper some in. We got like one or two more kind of celebrity episodes we're picking up. I mean, there's always a chance you won't like those anyways.
Yeah.
So, and cut.
Yeah. As I say, as far as pluggables, I'm going to plug my friend Javier's Getting Hitched.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's right.
September 2nd. Woo! So Javi will be taking a brief hiatus from the pod to go on his very deserved honeymoon. But we'll keep the show running.
What if we tracked you down with all the microphones and shit and just made you sit down
And just
watch
bugged
a
you.
movie?
Yeah. Just bugged your suitcase and like, yeah.
Did you watch Into Oblivion yet? Did you watch it? Check it out. It's really good.
Potting from your hotel room.
Yeah, thanks for that. And I'll be back sometime in September. So I'll be ready to roll out another one of these. Get it ready, and I look
Come
forward
hate
to
some more Rhino movies, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I've got just this show. So on Patreon, for free, you can subscribe to us. It would help us out a lot. It would show just a lot to show your support and that you like us. I mean, I know you have to get a Patreon account. It's kind of a drag, kind of a pain in the ass, but it helps. And then for $5 a month, you get access to our post-show shows. Got to come up with another name for that. And then for, I think it's $15, you get to be an executive producer. We forgot to say Addie's name.
Oh.
Thank you, Addie. Addie Martinez.
Thank you, Eddie Martinez, for supporting the show, supporting the pod.
I'll add this in. Make this our first ad break.
There we go.
Thank you. But follow along with like Addie Martinez in supporting us for $15 a month, and you get your name read out on each episode. I was wondering, some people do that they do it once, but I think as long as you're subscribed, we should just read them all out.
Yeah, exactly.
You're still supporting the show, right?
Eventually, we'll have a list where we just have to read out people's names during an ad break.
Yeah.
But thank you again, Addie. For $100 a month, you get to choose either Team Javi or Team Chuck and pick the next movie we review.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that's going to work out subscription-wise. You should only do that once, but if you do it, then we'll definitely do the movie, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah. Fuck anything.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something. I was gonna say something and be like,
asterisks.
well, I was gonna be like, well, yeah, like we'll even do. I don't want to plant any ideas. Like,
Yeah,
you just,
right.
whatever you want to do.
I should put some stipulations on that. Like,
Someone's
we need to have some kind of
homemade video.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
well, I think I'm killing this video of this guy who gave us $100 to watch him jack off in a clown mask. Weirdly enough, I have no nostalgic attachment to this, and I did not like it.
Yeah. I would say don't do that, but we need money.
Yeah.
Yeah. not gonna say don't. But and then for $1,000 you get to sponsor a show. We will shill your name, your product, your business in every section over and over and over. And that's pretty much it. NostalgiaKillers.com, Patreon.com, Nostalgia Killers Podcast. I always forget the damn things. I had to choose so many different names and stuff. But we're also on Acast.
Yeah.
But if you just go to NostalgiaKillers.com, all the links are there. Follow us. And thank you for listening to us, especially now if you're still listening to us after all of that. I have been Luc Londe.
I have been Chuck Starzenski.
I have been Javier Martinez.
And we have been the Nostalgia Killers.
Bang, bang.